Something's up with Justin Gaethje, and I love it, for one. I absolutely love it, but it's very relevant. Justin Gaethje has a stick up his ass, and I don't know what happened or where it came along. I mean, if we're to back the tape up from the night that he fights Khabib, comes up short, Khabib retires, Gaethje doesn't throw himself right back in the mix, Gaethje lays off social media, he doesn't do interviews, he pops in live to the pay-per-view that was in Arizona, his home state, he makes a cameo. Dana White, somewhere along the way, says, I might not do a damn thing with Justin Gaethje. I might figure out this championship and put Justin right in there with the champ. So we go, okay, things are really great for Justin Gaethje, but how come I haven't heard from him? And I'm bringing this up. I was thinking this. I was talking to you guys. Where the hell is Justin Gaethje and what's going on? And anything that goes up must come down. We all know that in life, right? But your career is very similar. When you're out there fighting UFC 246, where Gaethje had the performance of his life, huge upset, 2-1 underdog over Tony Ferguson. 2-1 underdog. He won every second of that fight. Gets the belt put around his waist. Nobody more surprised at the dominance and the outcome of that than Justin Gaethje. Well, that's an exciting moment. Draws him right into Khabib. Goes to a different continent, to an island set up for Khabib. All eyes on Khabib because it turns out to be his retirement match and everything that Khabib had gone through. The COVID-19, the passing of his father, just all eyes on Khabib, right? Nobody else existed that night. So what do you do if you're Justin Gaethje? You're going to come back. Does it matter who you come back against? Does it matter that's at Madison Square Garden, which happens to be right next to me right now? Kind of cool, by the way. Does it matter it's over a former title challenger, former Bellator champion, former Strikeforce champion? Does it matter? It's going to be less than what you did, but you're going to have to get on that horse sometime. You either stay down forever, you quit and walk away, or you acknowledge I'm going to do something that's not as big as the last two things I did, but it's important. So then Gaethje starts coming out and doing his interviews, and he's all worked up. He's mad at everybody. He's taking shots at Colby Covington at the press conference. He's taking shots at the media. He's throwing dirt as recently as 4 days ago against Daniel Cormier, which, in all fairness, is kind of off limits. Like, everybody loves Daniel Cormier. No, even if you cheered against him before, you still like him. Everybody loves Dan. He took him on. Gaethje took him head on. He didn't give a damn. He doesn't care about your status. He doesn't care if you're an announcer going to call my fight. He doesn't care you're 100 pounds bigger and you whip my ass. It doesn't matter. He was upset. And there's a real relevance in this, guys, because there is a battle going on right now. There is a fight happening as I speak. The fight will be happening tomorrow. It will be happening the next day. It is between Justin Gaethje and Islam Makhachev. Right now, perception will be reality. And if Justin Gaethje wanted to come out ho-hum and go have his fight, which is going to be a damn hard fight. Now, who wins that? That's between those boys. Best of luck. That's going to be a bludgeoning. But in a best-case scenario where Justin Gaethje comes out and wins, he's still going to have to wake up Monday and see if he got passed up by Islam Makhachev, which is going to be perception. That's going to be up to you guys to make sure that it is crystal clear that he is not scared and that he is the guy. He is letting you all know, including through the media. I'll whip anybody's ass here, yours included, DC. Well, you have my attention. Because if I was to juxtapose that, guys, Gaethje and Chandler both had belts around their waist, multiple belts between them. Colby, interim belt. Kamaru Usman, tons of belts. None of them were the best fighter on this card. Best fighter on this card, if you could have anybody on this card's resume, you'll take Rose. You can have as many knockouts, if you can have as many main events, if you can have as many world championships as anybody in this card, you would take Rose. And there's a major relevance here. Stay with me on this. I promise. Class is in session, and this will come full circle. Justin Gaethje, who's angry and who is going to the media. Justin Gaethje, who is pissed off. If Michael Chandler beats him, who wins? Chandler or Islam? They're never going to throw a punch at each other. It's all going to be done in the media. Has Chandler got any of you worked up? Has Chandler told anybody, don't look in my direction, I'll smack you right in the mouth? Has he done that? So how do you think that's going to go if Chandler was to meet up with Islam through the press? It's only going to be done in the press. And now how do you think it's going to go if Gaethje gets his hand raised and he has to go head-to-head with Islam? Do you see the difference? But think of Rose. Think of Rose. Possibly the greatest female fighter of all time. You can have a real discussion when you bring in Amanda, when you bring in Cyborg. You cannot have a discussion if you're going to bring, and these are great, so I'm talking about Holly Holm. one of the greats ever in combat. I'm talking about Ronda Rousey, the one that put an entire gender on the map. Greats. I'm talking about Miesha Tate. Went on and has done as much as any woman out there be in the Hall of Fame someday. None of them hold a candle, and they wouldn't pretend to, resume for resume and move for move and victory for victory with Rose. But yet Rose is actually an underdog going into a contest with a girl whose ass she just starched. There is nothing, historically speaking, that warrants a rematch. Nothing. Colby Covington had the hardest, dirtiest, closest fight I've ever seen, and I do not say that with an exaggeration, 3 years ago and 4 opponents between them ago since he got his next opportunity. Weili did not touch Rose Namajunas. She didn't push her. She didn't slap her. She didn't kick her. She didn't grab her. She did not touch her. She got touched one time by Rose with a foot to the face, fell down, and the next time she woke up, found out she was no longer the champion of the world. She got an immediate rematch. She is also the favorite in this. Why? How in the hell do you get there? And you know what, guys? I'm not sure Weili doesn't win. I'm not sure DraftKings doesn't have it right. That isn't my argument. My argument is the attitude. When you talk about Amanda, Amanda is flat scary. She is powerful. When you talk about Cyborg, flat intimidating. She's coming at you. You know where her mind is set. You know what her physical skills are. When you talk about Rose, what a sweet gal. I mean, is there anyone that you'd like to sit and hang out with more? Is there any fighter that you feel better, like actually in your stomach, where you're happy for them? You're actually happy for that. Oh my goodness, you're happy for them. She didn't get hurt. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, she won. Oh my gosh, oh, she looks so happy. It's Rose. But there's something with that nice guy approach. We saw it happen to George St. Pierre. Sure, George is now recognized as the greatest to ever do it. He did it for 15 years until anybody ever said that. For 15 years. And why? Because he didn't talk trash. He didn't curse. He put a suit on for the press conference. He'd say nice things about his opponent. So he didn't have that edge. He didn't have that intimidation factor. It's very relevant. You're seeing that with Rose. Rose, who just starched a girl, is now the underdog against the same girl. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje, with a stick straight up his ass and turned sideways, is not only going to take on Chandler, he's simultaneously taking on Islam. And he knows it. He knows it. Justin Gaethje is doing everything right. I welcome angry Justin Gaethje. Just like pissed off Marvin Vettori. Bring him on. And Gaethje's a very nice guy. I've known Gaethje for a meaningful period of time. And I will tell you, he's a very pleasant guy. He's in a bad mood right now. He's not happy about anything. He's not happy that somebody named Daniel Cormier is saying that Islam should get the nod over him. He's not happy that Michael Chandler thinks he can beat him. He's not happy that he's not instantly the number one contender fighting for his belt. Not happy about anything. Everything's mad. That is an edge that you can have early in your career. Marvin Vettori has it. Just to offer you guys an example. Someday Marvin won't. And when Marvin fails to have that edge, he's going to stop winning fights. It's something you lose over your career. It's something that you think, okay, I'm a veteran now. I need to behave in a certain way. You saw nice Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz, who said, I want to be a better sport. I see children watching me. Great. Wouldn't judge him for that, right? How would you like to have the rhetorical skills to say that doesn't make sense? But you saw a different Nick Diaz. You would not have had that when he was 21 years old. And the 21 years old doesn't mean that he was youthful and that he was immature. Man, he was young in the sport and he's pissed off. And the sport owes him something and the world owes him something. When you become a veteran, you lose that. And Justin Gaethje just got it back. Justin Gaethje is fighting Michael Chandler. And simultaneously, Islam Makhachev. And right now, for my money, Justin Gaethje is winning.